always ask, like, how really was. Have that. Hi. Please. Okay. What are the
The whole world is in a big mess. The more they get, the more they want.
Human beings are motivated to have a lot of stuff because psychologically speaking, it gives them a sense that they may be able to live forever.
Breakthrough firms such as Apple and Amazon now attract revenue across the world, which produces immense jackpots for the executives who lead them.
The top companies in the fast food industry made combined profits of $6.6 billion in 2015, while one study shows 52% of all their employees are getting some form of public assistance.
The biggest publicly reported company in the world by revenue is none other than Walmart. They reportedly brought in nearly $486 billion. The Walton family that owns the company has a combined net worth of roughly $149 billion, making them the richest family in America.
Walmart employees receive somewhere around $300 million a year in food stamp benefits, ultimately spending those dollars at food stores, like Walmart.
It's described as a cutthroat corporate jungle where workers are pitted against one another. 80-hour work weeks are the norm, and falling ill can mean you're out of a job.
Temporary employment has increased, has added more jobs than any other industry in the United States.
We are giving them a big, beautiful Christmas present in the form of a tremendous tax cut.
Amazon reportedly won't pay any federal income taxes for the second year in a row.
The shifting power balance has rewarded the wealthiest even more through policies in government and private institutions, from tax changes that increase their income to college admissions procedures that open doors for their children above others.
Wages have stagnated for 2 decades. Many people are still struggling to pay their bills, and that's why we have record numbers of Americans who are on the verge of having their cars repossessed.
These check cashing stores / payday lenders are just a huge industry. You have folks who can get a payday loan for $1,000 and end up easily paying back $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
For the first time since the 1940s, Americans are reaching retirement in worse financial shape than their parents.
We live in a society where our government likes to spend, spend, spend. The U.S. total debt, when you include private and public debt, is $74 trillion.
Many Americans are working hard, multiple jobs, and they still can't make ends meet. A new study from the nonprofit Third Way finds that 62% of jobs do not allow Americans to live a middle-class lifestyle once you factor in cost of living. What's more, 30% of jobs don't even allow a single childless adult to support a basic standard of living.
Central banking, rigged capitalism, land speculation, income tax and neoclassical economics have corporatized democracy, stunted progress, perverted the course of human destiny and compromised the future of this planet. If these issues aren't addressed, then the next implosion will be on a scale unimagined. Whatever the propaganda, at the beginning of the 21st century, central banks' unregulated cheap money pumped up land values, which created an unsustainable asset bubble in a world that once again operates a rigged tax system that enriches entrenched privilege. Neoclassical economics have ruined life for the bottom billions, tempted everyone into intergenerational conflict, and created massive suffering that has no limits. Human beings go mad in crowds and come to their senses slowly and individually. History is littered with examples of people who threw themselves off the yoke of oppression to adopt radical change, only to end up with popular new rulers that maintained the status quo. To really understand something is to be liberated from it. Dedicating oneself to a great cause, taking responsibility, and gaining self-knowledge is the essence of being human. A predatory capitalist's truest enemy and humanity's greatest ally is the self-educated individual who has read, understood, delays their gratification, and walks around with their eyes wide open.